Welcome everybody to Design Matters 17. Thank you all for coming to Copenhagen for 2 days of design talks, workshops, salons, and a get-together of 600 digital designers. I'm Ingrid, and I'm one of the organizers of the event. This is our 3rd year for Design Matters, and every year we want to talk about what's new in digital design. So this is new technology that demands new ways of designing, new products that excites us, and new design trends that makes us all warm and fuzzy because they're so fresh and new. So at Design Matters, we really love what's new. And I think loving and working with the new is a big part of being a digital designer. So something rather new this year is the new iPhone X, where it has a built-in facial recognition feature. So it's like Snapchat filters, but you can actually, instead of seeing the features on top of your face, you get a complete visual representation of your facial expressions on an emoji. You've seen that, and of course you also noticed that everybody started talking about how fun it would be to see your face on a poo. Not that fun, but nevertheless, it's really interesting. So, when the new phone has a built-in feature to read your face, apps can actually start working with your facial expression and start learning about your facial expressions and thereby how you feel. So an app would actually be able to tell if I'm excited, if I'm angry, if I'm sad, or if I'm happy. So with this technology, it could actually transform the communication we have with the phone into something much more like human-to-human interaction. Like in this movie, Her, where the guy falls in love with the AI, and the AI reads how he feels by listening to his voice and looking at his facial expression. So, let's say that the phone and the apps can read our emotional state. It's possible for us to get much closer to something like a natural conversation. And natural, really, that seems to have been the purpose and the goal for computer UIs just since the start, ever since command-like interfaces, through GUI and mouse, over touch, and now to face and voice. So let's take a look at natural UIs today. This is my sister. We share a small co-working space together. One day we were sitting there working quietly, very concentrated, each outside of the room. And at one point she would say, play music. And I would be like, okay, what? And she wouldn't look up, she wouldn't reply to me. So I would just let it go, saying, okay, whatever. A minute later she would say, play radio. And I would be like, do you want me to put on the radio, sis? She totally ignored me and would just keep working. And I'd be like, okay, what's wrong with her? And then finally I realized when she said, open Spotify, that she was talking to Siri, not me. What I realized that day is that my sister had a Siri voice. It was not the same voice that she would use with me or anyone else that I know. No, normally she's very empathetic. She uses her emotions a lot. She reads my face, she reads my voice, and it's easy for me to read her. Talking to Siri, she was much more like a commander in the army or someone barking out to an untrained dog. So I realized that natural UIs are not necessarily natural in the way that it would be between two human beings. Nevertheless, voice UIs and natural UIs is some of the most exciting development that's going on in technology and design these days, and I look forward to hearing more about this at Design Matters. And of course, chat UIs. I mean, chat interfaces of all kinds. I'm definitely going to say that would be the king of conversational UIs, or even UIs these days. And I'm glad to say that we have a few speakers coming up talking about conversational UIs and conversational forms here at Design Matters. Okay, something that's definitely not new, but never gets old is great design. Great design that communicates the brand, the identity, the soul, the purpose, the meaning of a product. And in order to be able to tell really good stories about great design, we came up with this theme, spreading the product design DNA. Simply to be able to tell these stories. Product design DNA has a lot to do with personality. And personality can be seen in products that do something unusual, something unexpected, like when it lets you high-five your computer, or it gives you a gold medal for good behavior, or when it shows little silly illustrations without any purpose, just using them as emotional triggers to make you like it. Or when it decides that instead of seeing a blank screen, you should see a piece of art. Great product design DNA shows when you can show a tiny detail of the product, and you would instantly know exactly what the product is, like here in the Monument Valley graphics. Or even transitions and animations can be a core part of the product design DNA. And sound.
Hello, I'm just a humble virtual assistant.
And of course, sound is a big part of the product design DNA. But what's happening right now is that style guides like this one that designers have done for ages are getting bigger. They become design systems. A design system can result in hundreds of different products, thousands of components, and it has everything in it from fonts, colors, sizes, formats, to tone of voice, and even if the product has a sense of humor or not. So with design being put into these massive design systems, how do you make sure that you maintain the product design DNA and the personality? This is a true challenge for designers right now. And I hope that the next 2 days I will get some insight from the many designers that will talk about this topic on how to create great product design DNA within a system. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to embrace a failure. And how would I do that? I would try to make myself as embarrassed as possible. What could I do here in front of you people that would be like the worst? Okay, what if I showed myself off as a bad designer? How would that be? Okay, I'll do it. A few months ago, I designed a website for Design Matters. This was a second version of the website. This is it. And we pushed it out. It was online for a while. Not very long, but it was online. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to be bold. We wanted to be different. We wanted to do something a little bit provocative. Actually, we talked about we wanted to do something that hurt the eye a little. And we did this. And it failed miserably because it was just plain, simple, ugly. So, what did we learn from that failure? That we learned that we needed to balance all the things that stood out and was a little bit different with something that was actually pleasing to look at and would actually follow some of the design trends that we see right now. We did this, and everyone was happy. And now, it's gone, yes. Okay, I can relax again. Whew, I survived. So, showing off bad designers to you, it's like embracing one of the failures that I've done. And it's, it's hard. It's humiliating. It's like undressing in a public place. But it also shows the true process of design, how design really is. Because, let's face it, designers, it's all about looking good, the right sunglasses, the right clothes, the right dribble profile, the nice design block, looking good. Let's diss this guy. I'm so happy that here at Design Matters, we've invited some brave designers that actually will come here and talk about failures. Some of them will show their own failures and teach us talk to us about what is the true process of design. Okay, let's do this thing. Let's get Design Matters 17 started. I'm going to introduce you to the host of Design Matters 17. He was a speaker at Design Matters 15, Design Matters 16. He's a creative director at BBC in the UK. He's a brilliant design mind and a fantastic guy. I'm very happy to welcome you to the Design Matters 17 host, David Bailey.